not Russia. You know what Russia want to prove us now, even in Davos was that, in Munich, is that Ukraine should be neutral. Yes? And we had this discussion for 20 years of our history after independence. That we should be neutral, and then we forget the next part of this sentence. We should be neutral because this is the will of Russia. Yes? Because we are discussing that, we are forgetting one thing is that we are discussing the question because of Ukrainian want to be neutral or Russia want to be neutral. If we are going to meet the requirements of Russia that we should be neutral, then where is that red line when we stop to fulfill all requirements of Russia? Today it will be neutrality of Ukraine, and then tomorrow it will be annexion of Donbass and other territories, and then they will go to the Transnistria and etc. So let's stop this discussion. That is Ukrainian will. If Ukrainian people would like to be neutral, they will decide it themselves. You can't force them to do that. It will be conflict. You know, it's not like toy. You can't put this toy somewhere and say that you should be there. There are a lot of forces inside the Ukraine who don't want to be neutral. A lot of people who are very radical. You know that even in our parliament, there are forces who want to be part of NATO, and their demand of our president to announce it openly that we are going to NATO. You know, it's dangerous now, but we have these forces in our parliament. But the question is that if you are asking about some specific way of Ukraine saying that we should to go to West or Europe and stay somewhere in between, my question is that who are going to guarantee that this neutrality will be safe for Ukraine? You're right that we eliminated our nuclear weapon, but now we even can't ask to help us with a little defensive equipment. Just imagine, we agreed to eliminate 1,000 missiles, nuclear missiles. And now, here in Washington, and the United States was guaranteed Ukraine's sovereignty and integrity. We are discussing, should the United States provide us with some defensive little weapon or not? It's ridiculous. Yes? And so, for me, it's obvious that this is two parallel processes. And this first question. Sanctions or weapon? Just imagine that you have your house and someone tried to rob you, but he is not successful. Are you going to hire a guard to protect your house? We have the same situation now. Russians tried to invade our territory, to occupy, to attack us, and we stopped them in some meaning. What are we going to do now? Should stop to arm our army? Should stop to develop our army? Or we should have some weapon to prevent these attacks in the future? What is the logic of Russia and why we are playing this game? The Russians experts' game is that you don't have to give Ukrainians little weapon because it's dangerous, and then we use something against Ukrainians. But my question is that, okay, let's imagine that we have this little weapon, but we are not going to fire. We just have it. Come on. It doesn't mean Russians to attack us. This is Russians' will and options and choice to attack us or not to attack us, to start this war or not to start this war. It's not our will, but we want to protect it. It's our right. So if we have this weapon, I'm sure it will prevent Russia to go further. What we saw last month is all negotiations, every negotiations, Russia see as a weakness. They are not going to deal with us. They are not going to fulfill our requirements. For them, this is our weakness. If we are ready to show them our weakness in next months, in next years, come on. But we had this situation in 1939 with Hitler, when they attacked Poland and Gdansk, and French elites and government, they didn't involve this process. They didn't protect Poland. And then we had World War II. And was the same discussions. Are we going to die for Donetsk or not? Are we going to be involved in this process and have war in our streets or not? And French elites and European elites, they think, okay, we will not be involved. It's not our problem. They will deal themselves. Now we have the same situation. Are we going to repeat this mistake? That's my answer.
All right, why don't we open it up